Can you see what's going on in this country? Can you see the immorality, the destruction of our way of life, our form of government? Can you see that the government is after total control? I have a message for all of you people out there. I want you to understand it clearly. The way you live your life has a great impact on our society. You can do the right thing or you can do the wrong thing. It's your choice. But if I have my personal beliefs and you expect me to respect your personal beliefs, I will. It is not my job or my intention to force my beliefs on you. But I do feel like you need to know what my beliefs are, just like you feel like I need to know what yours are. You may be a wise person. You may be a naive person. From your perspective, I may be too. But we need to be aware of our surroundings. The natural law of man, right from right and wrong from wrong, do unto others, and, just generally be a good person. That seems to have fallen by the wayside. You've got parents who abuse their children, children who disrespect their parents, husbands who mistreat their wives and cheat on them, and women who do the same thing with their husbands. And you have a whole society who can no longer define what it is to be a man or a woman. They think that gender and sex are two different things, but they're not. Oh, well, that's the sex you were assigned at birth. No, dear. That's not the sex you were assigned at birth. That's the sex that was observed about you at birth. Now, if you want to self-identify as a woman and you're a biological male, I don't care. I do not care. If that's what you want to do, you go right ahead and do that. But be aware that is a delusion. It's not true. And although you have a right to your delusion, if that's what you want, you do not have a right to require me to take part in your delusion. I don't have to be deluded because you are. You understand? Oh, my pronouns are this or that or whatever. No. I speak the English language. Somebody in Germany speaks German. Somebody in France speaks French. The Japanese speak Japanese. Okay? Languages exist among men so that we can communicate. You can't just arbitrarily change definitions of words, because if you do, people won't understand what you're talking about. You will fail to communicate. And a failure of communication is a major cause of stress, strife, and violence. You have a right to do a lot of different things, but you don't have a right to control my thoughts and my words. You just don't. Now, if this offends you, I'm sorry that you're offended, but you're just going to have to be offended. You understand? You can take what I say with a grain of salt, or you can take it literally. You can take it to heart. But this country is falling apart because people do not respect each other. Oh, well, the right is so disrespectful. No, honey, it's not the right. It's the left. We didn't change things. Things were going along just fine. You, on the left, changed things. You decided that you wanted to do this certain thing, but it's not enough that you get to do what you want to do. You want to make me say what you're going to do is okay, when I don't believe it is. Well, I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to accept that, and I'm not going to obey that. Now, the government is about to start trying to make me obey that. The government is going to have a problem because I'm not going to comply. I'm not going to accept the government's version of reality. I know what reality is. I've lived in reality for a very long time, longer than a good many of you. You cannot force your will on other people. Not right. Not and be right, you can't. Now you can use force. You can make me obey you. Or can you? Well, if you believe so strongly in your ideas on the left, you need to be ready to fight for them, because I am. The fact of the matter is, the morality of this country has went to hell in a handbasket. There's no right and wrong in the left's eyes. There's what they want to do. They think they have a right to not be offended. They think they have a right to force speech, my voluntary speech, to accord with what their reality seems to be to them. But I got a question. What if tomorrow you change your mind? What if you decide, I was born biologically a male, and I've been self-identifying as a woman? Do you have a right to change that and require everyone to change the way they deal with you? That you require them to call you she and her when you're actually a him. Now you can change that and require them to call you him and he. Is that what you think? Now, I'm a believer in the God that created the world, the God of Israel. That's who I believe in, okay? You don't have to like that God exists. You don't have to believe that God exists. You don't have to believe the moon exists, but it does. Your belief does not control whether it does or not. It controls your actions and your reactions. But when faced with incontrovertible evidence that the moon exists, you have two choices. You can accept that the moon exists and believe the evidence, or you can continue and be deluded. Now, here's where the problem comes in. This country is falling apart. Now, you can believe whatever reason you want to for that, but my belief is that this country is under judgment. I don't believe that this country will repent and return to God. I believe it will end up being destroyed. Now, will God come down from heaven physically and rip it to shreds? No, probably not. That's not his way of doing things. But he will give natural disasters in increasing number and intensity. He will give political strife. In short, What God will do to judge this country is let you have your destructive way. He'll let you do his job for him. You rest assured, a while back, several years ago, I said there would be violence in the streets, a river of blood in the streets, and there was. Now, you don't have to believe that if you don't want to. Couldn't care less whether you do or not. But the one thing you cannot do when the time comes and everything that I'm saying happens, you can't say you weren't warned. You're being warned now. You need to get your head out of your ass. You need to repent. You need to stop being mean, stop committing these terrible acts, and stop blaming it on the victims. You need to obey God. I know most of you won't. I accept that possibility. Probability, as a matter of fact. But I tell you what I don't accept. I don't accept that the country I love has to be judged without warning. I cannot accept that. So I'm warning you. Everybody who sees this, I'm asking you to share it. Don't care whether you like it or not my concern. I'm not out here for likes. I'm here for the message. And this is the message. America is under judgment. If this country does not repent, God will rip it to shreds like an old garment. Now you can believe that or you cannot believe that. That is completely on you. But when it comes to pass, it will still be a people and not a nation. There will be hunger in the population. There will be famine. There will be violence. This country will tear itself apart. That's my words for you. What I want you to do is just humor me. Sit back and think about it. Watch the news. Read the papers. If what I'm telling you is not going on around you, then ignore it. But if it is, you need to take some kind of action to protect yourself, your family, and your friends. You need to wake up to the truth of what's going on. Now, I've delivered the message. What you do with it is your concern, not mine. Have a good day.